Hello, my loves. Welcome to Pain to Joy, episode 13. My name is Danielle Phd, and I want to thank you from my whole heart for being here today. Before we begin, just curious, how is your heart today? As I asked you this, I closed my eyes, and I'm going to place my hand on my heart, and I'm going to check in and see how my heart is doing. Taking a deep breath in. Long exhale. My heart feels pretty full. I continue in Thunder Bay, Ontario, staying at my cousin's house. Very, very thankful. My brain, on the other hand, has been having some struggles. It is Friday afternoon, and I've spent the better part of every weekday sleeping. So I'm excited that I'm awake right now, and I am incredibly thankful for all of the wonderful times that I've had with family and friends. One of the joys of resting so much is that after the fourth day, yesterday, I started to have some really creative ideas last night. I had a beautiful day yesterday, and what I was thinking about was a lot of retreats that I've been to or courses that I've taken where you're asked to journal, reflect upon, think about what would be your ideal day. And often at the time, I was at home, resting a lot, not having a lot of connection. And for me at the time, my ideal day would have been somewhere on a beach, lying in a hammock, spending time by the ocean, jumping in the waves. I believe on multiple occasions, my ideal day had a loving boyfriend, lover with me as well, and we were having a great time. Other times, the ideal day included that lover or that partner, and then I was on a yacht with a bunch of friends, and often it was in some far-off tropical place, and that was the ideal day, almost like the day to strive towards. And what I've learned over time is, as much as that's beautiful, and I had that intention and I set that intention, and a few years later I was in Mexico on the roof of the surf house where I lived with a bunch of other incredible people. I was on the hammock, one of the hammocks on the roof in the shade. I could see the ocean in the distance. I could feel the ocean breeze, and I realized and recognized that that was something that I wanted, desired, put my mind to, and visualized for years, and then it came true. And I still want that for me. I love being by the beach. I love being on the ocean. I love feeling the sunshine. It's summertime right now, and I've had some beautiful moments out at the lake here with family. I mean, my heart is full. Those days were ideal days. And yesterday, before I was about to go to bed, I was having a shower. I was washing my hair. I was very excited that I had the energy to wash my hair. And I realized that yesterday, I didn't know it when I woke up. And maybe from the outside, it didn't look like it or feel like it. But to me, it was an ideal day. I slept a lot. And the reason that that's okay is because I have surrendered to and accepted when I need to rest. I also am giving myself love and care and self-compassion. The reason I needed to rest so much is that I did too much last weekend and I didn't take enough breaks. And I could be mad at myself and I could be judging myself. But no, I did that because I wanted to really soak up all these moments with people that I'm not going to see all the time. And maybe I pushed myself a little bit too hard. Well, clearly I pushed myself a little bit too hard. However, I was in a place of surrender and acceptance that I need to rest. Now, I didn't get there as quickly as I would have hoped. I still went to a family dinner Monday because I was in this space of I don't want to miss out. I want to see these people. I love these people so much. And I'm not mad at myself for going. I'm glad that I went. I had some beautiful connected experiences and I learned from it. I learned that even if I think I can go somewhere and maybe just sit in a corner and be quiet, after the first hour of being quiet, I get energy from others because I'm an extrovert, and I started sharing and I started telling stories and I started using brain power and energy that I didn't really have. But did my soul feel full? Did my heart feel full? Yes. And I will now work on recalibrating and balancing and getting my brain back to feeling good. And so coming back to why yesterday was an ideal day was because I accepted and surrendered to the reality that I needed to sleep and that I needed to rest. So I got up, had some breakfast, went back to sleep. Woke up again, went back to sleep. Saw that a friend was trying to connect. I hadn't connected with her for almost 2 weeks. So I connected with myself and I asked myself, did I have the energy? And I thought, yes, this might be the only chance for us to connect. So I got to connect with someone who I love, see what's going on with them. It was wonderful. Then I was resting some more and there was some noise from outside because these two gentlemen were here to repave a spot on the driveway. And one of them needed help. They needed to get a hose to cool down the asphalt that they had just poured. And I ended up chatting with them. I offered them something cold to drink. We all stood outside for a little bit. And I got to learn about them and their friendship. They were two postmen who started working in the summer, laying asphalt after work. And then after they retired, this is what they do. They've been doing it for 20 years. They're friends. It was so cool to learn about the process. It was fun watching them work together. It was really beautiful. It was like a dance watching them pass this flattening asphalt machine to the other. Then the other one would grab it. I took a video. It was so satisfying to watch them smush down the asphalt. So I got to chat with people that I've never met before and learn about them and really feel inspired by them and their friendship and the ease with which they work together. And then I rested some more. And then I got to chat briefly with my mom, and that was really beautiful. We haven't spoken in over a week because my brain has been tuckered out. And then I went for a really slow walk around the block because what happens when my brain is overwhelmed and gets very tuckered out, simple things like walking at a normal pace or walking the normal 20 minutes, half hour that wouldn't be no big deal, becomes a big deal. But I tell myself it's not. And I slowly walked around the block. I took lots of breaks. The sun was shining. Got to see beautiful flowers dancing in the wind. There were these daisies. They were so beautiful. I stopped to take a video. Got to see some people walking their dog. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. I ended up asking my cousin if I could make us dinner because I finally had the energy to do that. So I took my time, I paced myself, I prepared something, I took a break. I prepared something else, I took a break. My uncle stopped by for a little bit. I got to see him, have a quick conversation. My heart felt so full. I slowly prepared the rest of our dinner. And I got to visit with my cousin for a little bit before he had a friend come over. And then I asked him if he could take the lid off the hot tub because that's challenging for me. So although there's a hot tub here, it's kind of tricky for me to do it by myself. So he happily helped me out. I was in there trying to move around, let go of some of the pain I'm having in my upper back and my neck. And then my friend stopped by with one of her beautiful daughters and their puppy. And I got to chat with them for 5 to 10 minutes. Like yesterday I woke up, didn't have a plan for the day, knew that I would have to sleep, was okay with having to sleep. And by the time I got in the shower and got out and was so proud of myself that I was able to do it, that I was able to muster up the energy to wash my hair, I thought, gosh, that was an ideal day. And so I invite you to think about all the beautiful little moments in your life that you don't realize are ideal, do fill your heart. They do fill your soul. I didn't talk as much as I would have liked. I wasn't able to connect as much as I would have liked. But being in a place of surrendering to what is, knowing that my brain is in the space that it's in, knowing that when my friend popped by, and she's so wonderful, that she just happened to be walking by with a dog. It's on their route. And I saw the note on my phone, and my phone died like a minute later. And so I'm glad. I said, yep, just come around to the backyard. And the mosquitoes got crazy. So then we came through the house and they went on their way. But just to see her beautiful face and to talk to her eldest and to say hi to the puppy, so joyful. And the thing that I always come back to is, and I feel a little bit emotional, I don't want to have pain flares. I don't want to have to sleep all week. Clearly, I overdid it because I was out in nature at camp. So I'm in a cabin on the lake with family. I tried to take breaks. I thought I took enough breaks and I didn't. And that's okay. And I don't want to have my brain feel the way that it has. My memory's fuzzy. Talking can become challenging. Listening can be challenging. I don't want that for me. But what I love is that I'm able to appreciate what it teaches me. Because being in pain and needing to sleep that much allows me to really appreciate when I'm feeling better enough to see people, to connect with people. There were years where I was isolated at home in the way that I have been this week, where it broke my soul and it broke my heart a little bit. Because I was so sad and so frustrated and so disappointed that I couldn't be around people. Gosh, I love people. I know there's a lot of people that say they don't like people and people are peopling. I love people. I love that I got to meet those two gentlemen yesterday laying the asphalt. I love that I got to see my uncle for 5 minutes. I love that gorgeous Sherry stopped by and she's so caring and wonderful. I have had to rain check seeing her twice this week because I haven't been up to it. Do I want to see her? Yes. Do I wish that I could spend quality time with her? Absolutely yes. But another gift that a flare brings me is the reminder to take better care of myself. And it's something that I share and it's something that I believe in. But being caught up in the warm weather and in family time and laughter and good times, it was so wonderful and it's been so wonderful. And I forgot that I needed to take more breaks than I did. And as much as I hope that I can do better, that I can have less flares, that I can be in less pain, I'm not mad at it because it gives me an opportunity to be more loving towards myself, to extend grace and compassion to myself. Like I said earlier, I could be beating myself up. Oh, you should have done better last weekend. You should have taken more breaks. What is that going to do? I know that a lot of people believe in tough love. I know that a lot of people sort of live by tough love for themselves, for people close to them, their children. But what I've learned through the learnings of self-compassion and the teachings that I have read, tough love doesn't work. And so that's why I'm always here encouraging you to love yourself more, encouraging you to be more gentle and more kind to yourselves. My self-compassion and self-love game is pretty strong to the point where if something happens, you know, I say, don't cry over spilt milk. I'm sure at some point, if I dropped something like milk and it spilt all over the floor, I'd be like, oh no, what a waste of money. And oh my goodness, I can't believe. Now when something spills, I just say, that happened. Like I have no feelings around it. Because I've grown to know that things happen, that life happens. And the more kind and loving and compassionate and generous and patient and forgiving we can be to ourselves, life is just way, way, way better. Because if I was putting this extra layer on myself right now and beating myself up for not doing a quote unquote good enough job of pacing myself, I would be sleeping twice as much. Then there would be all these feelings on top of the already tuckered out brain. I'd experience more pain, for sure. When we add weights and stressors to ourselves, that adds emotional pain. Then we're in more pain. Then we're more tired. We're more fatigued. It takes longer to recover. It takes longer to get better. So I am so thankful that I started learning about self-compassion from Brené Brown and Kristen Neff back in 2016, 2017. I'm so thankful that I continue to follow someone like Kristen Neff on Instagram. I just found her recently because I've been reading her books for years. I've gone to workshops, Christopher Germer as well. And the question that I would have for you right now is there something in your life that you are being hard on yourself about? Is there something that you could be more kind to yourself about? Is there something that you have been hard on yourself about for a long, long time that you could start to take baby steps to let go of. Because we already have the weight and the pressures of other things, society, people in our lives, whether we want to admit it or not, we are affected by the people we love. And I know there's this quote that a good friend, Bob from Toastmasters, used to say, "What other people think of me is none of my business." What other people think of me is none of my business. Yet, it is normal and human to put weight on the opinions or value what other people think who are in our lives. I try really hard to always remind myself that the most important opinion, and really the only opinion that matters, is my own. But as humans, we are affected by the energies around us, by the humans around us. So even if you know it, and you know that your opinion is the only one that matters, it's still natural and normal to be influenced by those around us. So could you take the pressure off of yourself and lighten the load? Remind yourself that you're doing an amazing job. Tell yourself that you did the best you could at the time and you'll do better next time. I had some sort of feeling last week, even though I was doing my best to take the breaks, but I just kept thinking, I don't want to miss this. I don't want to miss this. It was really strange. I don't know if it was the full moon energy or just being here with family and knowing that some people were going to be leaving a couple of days later. My uncles and cousins are going on a fishing trip, so I know I wouldn't see them. So I pushed myself a little bit. But again, I'm not sad or mad about it because I got in that quality time. And yeah, I would have rather spent time this week during the days with my cousins and their children and people I love. But I packed into, 3 or 4 days so much. I'm going to be thankful for that. And I'm going to appreciate that. And anyone else I see and anything else I do will be a bonus. And staying in gratitude for everything that we do have, for everything that we have gotten to experience, can really be such a beautiful tool, especially if you're dealing with any sort of struggle that is keeping you from connecting with the people you love, from doing things that you love. Sometimes that can be a physical injury, can be mental illness, can be anxiety, could just be that you're bogged down with everything happening at home or at work, and you don't have the energy, the capacity, or the bandwidth to be reaching out or connecting with people you love. And to that I say, it'll come. Because as someone who spent years at home in my condo, staring out the window, wishing that I could come to Thunder Bay and spend time with family, wishing that I could spend time enjoying a family gathering or a birthday party, it'll come. Might not come when you want it to, might not come on the timeline that you have set for yourself. But if you are patient and you keep going back to square one, which I'm doing again, and that's okay, because it teaches me how far I've come, and it teaches me tools that I still need to put in place so that I'm not experiencing such a bad flare in the future. And when we talk about that ideal day, what are the moments that happened for you today or yesterday or the day before that were just wonderful and beautiful? They were just everyday moments. Maybe it's when you get home from work and you see a loved one smiling at you or reaching out for a hug. Maybe it's when you had a few minutes in the car to yourself and you rocked out to your favorite song. But all of these little moments, those are the moments that make up our lives. Yesterday was an ideal day. I wasn't on a beach. I wasn't at the ocean. I wasn't out and traveling and wandering. I was just having a day at home at my cousin's house, which I feel like is my home away from home. I slept, and I got to have these pockets of connection with people that I love that felt so good and so wonderful, especially not having had the energy to connect in the last few days, in the last week or so. And I'm so thankful. And if you're feeling like you haven't had a lot of those joyful moments, or you feel like you want more of those joyful moments, then I invite you to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to yourself, journal, reflect, Close your eyes, envision, what are these little moments that you want more of? Maybe you love going to the movies and you haven't done it for a year. Maybe you like to go out dancing. Maybe you just want 10 minutes to read your favorite book in peace. What are these little pockets and moments of joy and connection with yourself, with others, with nature? How could you incorporate more of those into your everyday so that more of your days can become an ideal day? I follow Gary Vaynerchuk, and years ago I remember him saying, you don't want to have a life where you're waiting for the weekend, right? You don't want to build a life where you're always waiting for Friday after work. You're always waiting for the weekend. I want everyone to build and have a life where they're experiencing joy every day, where you are experiencing joy every day, where you are experiencing moments of things, people, experiences that you love every day. Because wouldn't that be ideal? I truly believe it's possible. We might have to take an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes here or there to set the intention for our day. What do I want to experience today? What are experiences that I want to have? Feel into them. If you take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to journal in the morning, as you're journaling, and maybe it's like, today I will laugh more. Today I will smile. Today I will have beautiful, peaceful, gentle connection with others. Today I will belly laugh more than I have in a long time. And as you write it down, as you declare it to yourself and to the universe, I invite you to feel it like it's happening. Like as I'm saying it to you now, my heart is like bubbling up and I could start laughing. So feel right now. Feel a feeling that you want to experience more of. I just felt tingles all the way down to my toes. I want to feel more connected to humans, other humans. I want to feel more connected. I'm looking out this window. I cannot tell you how beautiful it is. It's like a Northwest Ontario jungle. There's hostas, there's ferns, there's pine trees, there's these big other green trees. I don't know what they're called. It's so beautiful. May you incorporate more beauty in your life, more joy in your life, more love, more laughter, more smiles, more of whatever it is that you want. And feel free to tell me about it. Please email me at dksuddy@yahoo.ca. You can DM me on Facebook, Danielle Suddy, Danielle.Suddy on Instagram. Let's keep creating lives that are ideal every day. Let's not wait for the weekend. Let's not wait for the holidays. And let's extend love, compassion, and be gentle and kind to ourselves more and more and more every single day. I love you. I appreciate you. Sending you joy on your journey and sending huge smiles from my heart to yours. Please keep an eye out for part 2 of episode 13, where I will share concrete examples and lived experience of how I have gotten to a place of acceptance. Because all I would want for all of us is to live in more acceptance with what is, whatever that is in our lives, so we can experience more joy, more love, more peace. Sending so much peace from my heart to yours.